Hey everybody, BeyondDrewTV here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Planet Coaster. And today we're going to go ahead and continue our zoo project, which is formerly called, by the way, Green Hills Zoo. I don't know if I mentioned that. Actually, no, I know for a fact. I didn't mention that in the first episode, which is awesome content creation right there, to not mention the name of your new series in the first episode of the new series. Anyways, regardless, yeah, it's called Green Hills Zoo, so yeah, welcome back to Green Hills Zoo. But today we're starting off the episode by moving our entranceway back just a little bit. I was kind of looking at it and I wasn't too happy with how the entrance to the zoo was kind of sitting right off of this roadway here. I don't think it would be the busiest roadway, really. Since it is kind of a in-park road there, but still, I didn't really like the idea of it being the entrance just being right off the road there and having people just kind of continuously walking while there were cars going. So my idea was to kind of borrow from a real-life inspiration, or a real-life zoo there, that is, to borrow from the Brookfield Zoo. It's called the Brookfield Zoo, is in Chicago, or just yeah, it's pretty much just inside Chicago there, and they have their entranceway. It goes underneath of like a main roadway. So we're not going to do the exact same thing here, but we're going to do something similar where I kind of have this the side entrance off to the side, basically. So yeah, instead of again going straight into the zoo from the front entranceway there, they kind of go off to the side and go underneath this concrete tunnel here, and we're using the adventure pieces, the adventure wall set pieces here as concrete. These work really well as concrete pieces for many reasons. One, they just kind of look the part with that texture. Two, they're recolorable, and the coloring on the adventure pieces, for those of you who don't know, is really neat because it kind of blends together. Excuse me, so you can kind of get some really cool combinations there. So, and what we're doing here is that from the reference photo from the Brookfield Zoo that I saw, again, it is a straight up just concrete tunnel underneath of like a roadway, but they try and kind of like gussy it up a little bit, almost like adventure theme it up a little bit, because I think that's a pretty consistent thing with zoos. I mean, you know, they're not all strictly adventure themed, right? But they all kind of try and touch on that a little bit, I've noticed from a lot of the research I've done. So it's kind of neat in the tunnel there. They kind of like put these decorations or like wall paintings and stuff like that. They're really bright greens, bright blues, yellows, you know, just these very hot and bright and adventure-y kind of colors there. So but here we go. Here we're working on a parking lot here, and this from what I remember from this time lapse, I'm thinking forward to it. This might be a little bit of ADHD, the time lapse. I know that I was kind of working on like 3 or 4 things at the same time, so we'll see what we get in this one. But any case, here's the parking lot that we're working on. I will say a little bit of a spoiler that this parking lot does go the way of getting eliminated as of this morning. It doesn't get changed dramatically, but I did go back and kind of mess with it a little bit. I don't hate how it came out. I just after looking at it this morning, I kind of realized I could have done it better, and I was just kind of in one of those moments. If you've ever done if you've ever done a longer kind of build, when you're kind of getting near the end of it, you might just be like, okay, screw it. Yeah, this looks fine. Great. I love it. Fantastic. Okay, save, go. You just kind of getting to that point where you're like, okay, I'm done, but I want to keep, you know, I want to finish what I'm doing and this, that, and the other thing. So, but yeah, overall, I kept this in for, you know, just so y'all can see it. And yeah, actually, that's pretty much the main thing, is that even though we don't keep it exactly how it looks here, I know a lot of people have kind of a lot of questions when it comes to making parking lots in the game. There's a lot of different ways you can go about it, obviously. For me personally, I go about the pathway way. Which is what you see here. We did the tarmac path surrounded by the concrete looking path there. I won't always do it like this. I'll kind of do it the way of using roof pieces and or art shapes even, and kind of recoloring them if I want to get like a faded kind of look. Or also the I think it came with the Studios pack, I believe. You can use the paver, I think it's called, or something like that. It came with the Studios pack, but that one has a good texture for parking lots as well. I didn't use it this time because, again, I was kind of, I'm not super piece conscious as far as like thinking that we're gonna get lag in this build or anything like that, but I am, but I didn't want to make the parking lot a few thousand pieces if I didn't have to. So I figured, you know, this worked very, very well for what I was going for with the parking lot and everything there. So yeah, but tell you what, I'm not sure how much more this has to go, but there's not much more to say about the parking lot there. So enjoy the rest of the time lapse of the parking lot. Again, it's going to change, and I'll show you the change, you know, when we do the live look-in and all that fun stuff at the end of the episode there. So until there's something new that goes on the time lapse there, enjoy the rest of the parking lot time lapse, and I'll see you in just a little bit. Alright, well I guess I should have just been a little bit more patient since the parking lot time lapse literally ended like 2 seconds after I signed off there. But either way, here we are now working our way into the actual zoo itself there. And as you can see, we kind of had a pathway split there. The one going to the right, so the one in the upper hand portion of the screen right there, the smaller one, that is going to be the exit / probably like an employee kind of walkway entrance as well. But yeah, the one going off to the right hand side is going to be the exit to the park or the zoo, and the one on the left with a little bit more of a plaza feel, that's going to be your entrance. So the idea here is I saw this, I think maybe not even a bunch of zoos, but just a bunch of theme parks and stuff like that. They do this where on the right hand side they maybe put like a security guard or you know, maybe some natural obstruction to kind of let you know, like, yeah, this is the exit, you don't go this way, or you know, it's just obvious that you don't go that way. So we kind of did the same thing here where we will set up, I think I'll do like a security guard like little booth or something like that for them to sit in the middle of the path, you know, just in case someone comes, be like, hey guy, you gotta go pay to get in, so go that way. But yeah, and then on the left hand side here where that little plaza is, the idea is to put a like a little entrance ticket booth area, and we will kind of see a little bit of that in the real-time look in there. And then the other thing I wanted to mention before letting the time lapse run there is this little this idea of getting levels going. So this little triangle, this rounded triangle area right here, I wanted to really kind of get some planters that had, again, different levels going. So you won't see it right now, but in just a little bit I will I'll add in a second story to this planter set right here. And I think it turned out really, really well. I think it looks really cool, and just something to kind of touch on, you know, with actual designing and stuff like that of, you know, parks or whatever you're doing. I always find that, you know, giving some height variation can go a long, long way. There you go. There's a little bit of the height variation. So that's really, really subtle, like that I did right there. But you know, you see this a lot where you have like multi-tiered, multi-storied, or whatever you want to say, different height planters and stuff like that. So, you know, just doing little height differences like that can really, really make a build go a long way, I think, there. But yeah, so that's pretty much everything I wanted to touch on there. The rest of the time lapse will show just detailing the there we go, detailing the little, oh, excuse me, this tunnel here and everything. So I'm pretty content with how that came out. You'll have to let me know what you think of it. But yeah, I'm gonna let the time lapse go ahead and run the rest of the time. There's not too much left there, and I will see you on the other side in a real time part of the video. Alrighty, well let's go ahead and take a look at some things here in real time after the time lapse there. Here is our little entranceway to Green Hills Zoo, and oh yeah, I'm leaving myself little notes here. Maybe you saw it in the time lapse there, but Green Hills Zoo does need a sign, and I'm gonna maybe attempt to do a custom sign for the first time ever, or resource that out to someone who can do it much better than I can. So, but here's how the kind of tunnel turned out here. I'm pretty satisfied with it. I almost feel like I may have done it up a little bit too much, possibly. It might be a little bit too bright and green. So I don't know, maybe I can redo some of the colors there, but let me know what you think in the comments there. Down below. What do you think we can change, or do you think it looks pretty good as is? And then before we get into there, I forgot, there's one thing I did tell y'all that I changed, and it's true. Yes, the parking lot has been ripped out. I'm going to change it just a little bit. I did, this could bring me to my next point. I did have another parking lot all built out that I really liked. But long story short, yesterday, the February 7th, when I was recording in my area, we had wind gusts of like 60 miles per hour on top of freezing rain. So yeah, we lost power all night last night. And I kept trying to build the parking lot up, and I'd build it and then we'd lose power. I think a branch was getting heavy and kept hitting the power lines because it would go off. Our power went out a total of 12 times last night throughout the course of the evening. So long story short, again, yeah, I had a parking lot built. I know how I want to build this, but the power kept going out, so I didn't get it to save, basically. So, but you can see I kind of had some stuff all ready to build it with there. So the next episode, there may be a time-lapse of it, or I might just do it, but there will be a parking lot here. So let's go ahead and enter into the zoo like you normally would through this way to show you the real time here. And don't worry about the green up there. I'm gonna get the land there. So yeah, here is how this little area here looks. So again, this is going to be your exit there. We're going to set this area up here. Got to do a little bit of fixing with the land here, just a little bit. I want this to look a little bit overgrown, like it's old, but not like where the land is going over the stonework like that. So yeah, that's the exit again right there. We'll get a security guard set up there, but then this over here is your actual entranceway, and this was taken right out of the Brookfield Zoo, how they do their entrance there. So there will be some ticket vendors, ticket booth vendors here. This is I need to lighten up this yellow a little bit. Lighten up, yellow. This is where you can go up if you need to buy day of kind of tickets there. And then yeah, you enter into the zoo this way there. So and then this is that little berm. This is where the entranceway used to be, just so you can kind of see. We'll kind of pull all the way back, but that is what we have so far, my friends. And yes, I haven't talked about the merry-go-round. I put that there as a placeholder for now. I know I want to have a merry-go-round in the zoo, but I'm not sure where, so that was more so me just kind of putting it down to kind of remind myself there. So but yeah, that's gonna go ahead and wrap up today's episode there of Green Hills Zoo. If this is your first time hanging out with us here, consider subscribing. We do a lot of simulation, strategy, building kind of games on the channel there, and if you made it this far in the video, be sure to give it a like. Helps out the channel, helps out the video immensely there. So until the next episode of the Green Hills Zoo or any of the other projects we have going on the channel, y'all have a fantastic one, and I'll see you then. Thanks.